Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon. Hey guys, it's Vandiazzo back with Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days video. So hope you guys enjoyed the comment, subscribe as well, shall we? This time we're covering the very last story, Toya Ibata's story. So we're gonna start Toya's story. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna finish in one episode, but you know, once Toya's story finished, we only really have one small thing, and I should have read this thing before I did that. Blackout's team lead. I didn't pay attention to that whole bit. Let me just quickly go back to it. But oh my god, I really do love his background though. Toya Ibata, Blackout's leader. Toya sees Yuyu's growth and wonders if he can still grow himself. He sets off to train and discover his path ahead. So basically, like I said before, whenever we started the Blackout stories, this pretty much takes place between season 2 and season 3, like after season 2, but before season 3, aka which was season 1. And our first fight is apparently against Yuki. So I guess we're starting towards like the end of Yuki's story. Huh? I'll read it till we get similar dialogue. I want to treasure you, everyone around me, and Vanguard. I can't take all of you for granted either, Vanguard. He keeps on moving ahead. I want it to be clear. So, Blackout and Daybreak, the opposite sides are taking hands and card fighting side by side. Okay, I'll bring it up when we're done. We've been able to get along with, and it's because of you, Donji. Donji too. I need to do the same. I need to do something too. Toya. It's been a while. Oh, never mind then. This takes place at, okay, that actually kind of helps. Yuki Chidoji, what are you doing here? I was able to find myself thanks to you and everyone else. Is that so? I knew you'd make it. So would you be willing to fight me? I want you to witness who I become. I see. Leaders versus leader, huh? This might help me discover something too. I won't hold back. Well, no lose intended. Okay, it's actually been a while since we've been able to fight Yuki, so that's fun, but that blows out my theory out of the water, because what I was about to say is this kind of puts in a time frame where this is actually before the end of Yuki's story. That's actually not true. The instance of Donji's story, if I remember correctly, because Haruka's reasoning was that whatever I think Team Roam, Team Berserk, like they knew they were coming for them, so they decided to set up. I think that's what that was, but then, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that's what was happening, or what Haruka said, meaning that, like, Yuki's whole story kind of wrapped up at the time of that fight. Don't quote me on that again, I say. But, yeah, that kind of just leaves food for thought. Like, Toya, I guess now we can kind of see why Toya felt like why he left. Like, not just, because in the anime, they just left it as, oh, he wanted to fight against strong people, which, yeah, that's like kind of Toya's nature, but in my opinion, it still felt like there's another reason, or like, either, if there isn't another reason, it just felt like they underdid it. It felt like they could have showed more, like, Toya having some fight and then realizing, this isn't what I want something bigger, bolder, brass, like, something that makes my heart pound, basically. It's gonna be, yep, it's gonna be a heel. But, like, that's something I kind of wish they had done with Toya, where they kind of just progressed on that story a little bit more in the anime, and they didn't, but it's nice to see it happen here, where it's on the lines of Toya recognizes that Yuyu was a good leader, or that he was going to become one, and then realizing Donji is just a good old unifier. Like, he's now beginning to think that, I need to do something like that too. And regardless of how Toya's story comes to an end, because again, I don't know how Toya's story comes to an end. Like, Yuyu's story, outside of the first outside like the first 2 to 3 story fights, I genuinely went into blind. Donji, I went fully into blind, and that's even more proof because I thought Mirror was the final fight. And then Toya, I genuinely don't know who's the final fight at all. I can take a guess of who it is, but I'm like 95% sure I'm gonna be wrong. So, like, quite literally, I'm going into Toya's story 100% blind. I have no idea what to expect, unless I am right of who the final fight is, but that is more of just, like, me hard guessing. Like, there's no reason behind why I'm guessing this. It's just a hard guess that I'm probably wrong on, but, it's a thing. Also, can you not do this, please? I want to win on my first attempt, because if you don't know, I was trying to do a theme for each of these, and Toya's theme is going to be outside of his main deck, obviously, so Bastion. I use the encounter decks. So basically, the ones we only have access to right now are MLB, Dragonic Overlord, and PBD. And that's pretty much it. So I essentially have 4 decks to play from, which is great, in my opinion, because that allows me more time to practice with them, but that's going to be boring for some people because I'm only playing 5 decks at once. I'm going to need defense cards, and I am immediately throwing one away. Ride Bastion. I have 100% faith in this plan working. Skill of Rooks. Please draw Pride to Protect, I beg of you, because I am so dead if I don't. That's not Pride to Protect. Alden, listen. You are pretty much my last chance to draw Pride to Protect. If you're gonna get me one, it needs to be now. Please, I beg of you, because that one that ended up in the damage zone is not good at all. Draw Pride to Protect. That's... I mean, it's a prime, so I'll take it. Fusad, Raflute, why? I don't know. Actually, I'll call it here, because I have a plan. And we're gonna send it to Soul, because this hits anyways. I don't know why I called it the Spark. I forgot that I don't have Pride to Protect, so calling the Fusada was stupid. But this is a good game plan, because 25 to Vanguard. No triggers, please. Let's go. I keep forgetting that AI runs Maple. I always forget that the AI is more or less competitive. Twin Drive first check, it's a heal trigger. Okay, so it's a good thing I didn't put Fusada in the front row. Recover that power here. Can I see a grade 3 so I can restand Sparar? Thank you. Speaking of which, on Maple, we did actually just get the new Thegria yesterday. After reading its skill, I now realize that card's more stupid because I thought its skill was, you know, use Superior Ride from deck. So I thought its first skill, sending something to Soul, being mandatory, is like, this is their way to balance it, so you have less ways to break the deck. Turns out, that's actually not how the card works, and instead, it actually rides from Soul, which is something I didn't think it did. Meaning, you know, you can benefit more easily. And I know I should kill the Belvedere because it's going to cause problems later, but right now I'm more focused. I really hope I draw into Pride to Protect next turn because Bastion Prime is going to hit so much differently if it's on Pride to Protect compared to where it is now. I mean, having double Spare in the back row would, like, kind of buff it up, but it won't be nearly as powerful, so I need to make sure she dies, is what I'm getting at here. And her, I mean, she lost a Belvedere, a K, and then a crit, so it's not bad. I hope she draws a grade 3 so I can say she mystery flared. Speaking of which, I now see the Maple in her drop zone. I knew she threw it in there early, I just didn't know where it was. But there's the Graham Grace. I am curious if we're gonna get Graham Grace cards in, well, what I mean by that is I wonder if we're gonna get more Graham Grace cards in set 11, because currently, as of today, I'm recording this, Wednesday, April 26, 2:38 p.m., we have that one Graham Grace card that's a grade 2 that, if I remember correctly, is on place, counter blast 1 to soul charge 1, get plus 5,000 power for your Vanguard to Graham Grace, which is great. I didn't expect to get a Graham Grace card in set 11, especially because, you know, we have the whole, like, you know, starter decks going around. But I am wondering in my mind, is it, like, is it a constant thing they're gonna do now? I am now realizing I might be in danger. Like, if she pulls double crits, which shouldn't happen, I'm dead. And the reason I say this is because I have, okay, unless it draws a PG, I have one card in my hand that can guard. Okay, I am not dead this turn if I PG the Vanguard. But you know what? She's gonna pull a trigger. I really hope it's not double crits. Okay, thank God. I was smart to do that. Oh, cool. Oh, fuck. I saw two. I went away for 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh, I'm safe. She doesn't see a trigger. I see double Persona rides. Okay, I need to be very careful from here on out, and without, okay, is it worth, like, okay, if I top deck a Persona ride, I don't go into Prime. If I do, then, you know, stand and draw. It's not final turn, but Rigel, the Vanguard, Apex Surpassing Sword, Bastion Prime! Okay, anyways, I call this here. I totally want to call Fanel, but it's not worth it, and instead I'll do this. Ditch Fanel for that, and then we'll call Rafluk, and let's just see where this fucking party goes. Attack the, because I want the Vanguard to, you know, be a decent threat too. So 35, 30, yeah, definitely gonna take that because it decks me out faster, and it is all around the better play because it helps with damage triggers, and again, it does deck me out faster. And in this case, giving me resources doesn't really make that much of a difference. In fact, it's actually better to take it because, again, it decks me out faster, and like you saw there, it can make me see a grade 3, which something tells me now I'm not gonna see grade 3s because I have Trigger Happy on, and history with that is it just chooses to fuck me whenever it feels like it, AK now. So here's the thing. With what we know is in her hand and what we know is in mine, if I don't see a grade 3, I've probably lost. So I really do need to see a grade 3 in this draft check. It doesn't matter what it is, just has to be a grade 3. Okay, but she's dropped 2 PGs. But game, legitimately, I am being serious, see a grade 3. Okay, I've either won or I've almost like nearly secured a win. Okay, that's securing a win because unless she sees a You know, the funny thing is too, isn't that fucking what's his name? Toya's exact drive check in the anime against except swap the order against Raika, because if I remember correctly, in the order that it happened in, it was draw trigger, PG, maybe swap those two, and then I want to say it was either an Alden or a Bastion. But yeah, anyways, I know 2 of her hand cards are grade 3s, so yeah, that's kind of game. Yep. No, sucks for her, it was another PG. That was honestly pretty good. That was a good match. That was a good match. It was actually that Yuki and Donji, or Toya and Sir friends after this. You're as good as ever, Toya! Huh? So, that's how I must have looked. Huh? Sorry, Ichidoshi, but tell me something. Sometimes, I wonder what a leader is. Looking at my team, or maybe because of it, such thought comes to mind. I'm not sure if it's okay to keep on being this way. Isn't the answer obvious? You just have to move forward. Huh? Isn't that what you told me in the past? Huh? It is. Thanks, Ichidoshi. That's like the most stereotyped moving forward type of thing I've ever seen, where they don't even like kind of there could have been so much more volume to that. But no, also I know I just played Bastion, but come on. You're gonna tell me you have the chance to play Bruce v. Bastion and you ain't gonna do it. Listen, I know I didn't do it in Yu Yu Story, but I made a bit out of it, okay? So that's different. But you telling me you have the chance, because I wasn't playing as Donji, but you're telling me you have the chance to play Donji versus Toya, Bruce versus Bastion, and you're not gonna take it? We all know very damn well that's just dumb, and okay, well, ride for it. And I passed the turn. You know what, I wonder if one day in the anime they'll just end up changing decks just to say fuck it, and if Donji uses Bastion, because I think we can all agree that, well, yes, Toya's main story kind of revolves around with Masanori at his side, and then like Donji's, I mean, like, I love how, but before I finish that thought, I love the Donji that I love. It is the fact that, like, Donji is the character that is always revolving, or, like, you know, moving the plot forward. Like, for example, he was the one that taught you had to play Vanguard. He was the one that kind of kicked off the Daybreak thing. Well, yes, in Season 3 he didn't do anything. He was a big player in Season 4 for investigating for Michiru, but then at the same time being the guy to bring Michiru back to his senses and don't fucking commit suicide inside of an internet game wall. So there's that. Like, all around, it's just like kind of a thing, and I find it interesting that Donji is a constant character that the plot revolves with, and he kind of can just work with any character. Like, and that's something I think is great to Donji, is like, I just overall person, you know, like, I was gonna say character, but I feel like saying character 3 times and 6 times is redundant, but you know, like, he is good with almost every character. He's nice, he's fun, he's literally the embodiment of height. Like, and you're gonna tell me he can't, like, just make friends with anyone? Like, come on, man. He quite literally is, like, just good at his job, and I think the writers just do a really good job with it. And that's, like, that's me giving a compliment from the bottom of my heart, genuinely, because for those of you that know, I really don't like overdress and will dress. In fact, like, up until this newest season, I have only liked 1 to 2 episodes per series, and this newest season broke the record with double that. Granted, that's only 4, but that is still twice as much. And what I mean by this, like, normally I'll like some of the episodes on release, but then after watching it once more, like once or twice after, it's just really boring to me. This is the one season where it hasn't been like that, for the ones that I actually like, and it's just, in my mind, it's a good thing. So, like, again, this is me, someone that doesn't normally like the anime, giving a genuine compliment from the bottom of my heart, because I do genuinely think they wrote the character really well. Like, he has like I said, he's nice to people, he has a constant involvement in the plot. Like, you just can't have Overdress without Donji. That's kind of how it works, which is great. Anyways, Counter Blast 2, Soul Blast 1. I wish it auto did the Counter Blast for you, but I guess I can kind of see why it wouldn't, in case you wanted to not do the skill, though in my mind, again, it just feels like it would have been better. Call this so if we saw it has a better chance of hitting, because I plan on using this turn to get resources back, really. Either that or just to force out guards. Either way, it works for me. Trigger? Oh, it's not. Great. But it is a brainwash. Oh god, and he drove check a PG, didn't he? I'm just now realizing, too, that he lost the over. I promise you I didn't notice that before, so 19 to Vanguard, good sir. Cool, see a crit, or a heal, or a draw. I said literally like any of those options, so I'll take it. And hey, it's a prime, that's great. It's like a crit. Okay, well I am disappointed that I don't get to restand. I still put him to 5 unless he like sees a heal, but then he'll probably just take Alden anyways, so this is the ideal situation to be in right now. I have Bastion, Prime in my hand, and then I have mostly a board of grade 3s. He can't kill me. Now here's the thing. The standard rule of Bruce apply. Oh god, you have a grade 4. Okay, yeah, standard rule of Bruce applies where, you know, if you don't kill them before they get to final rush, regardless of how much they have, unless they have absolutely nothing outside of the Vanguard, and I mean absolutely nothing outside of the Vanguard, meaning at the start of their turn they use that one hand card to ride that they drew for turn, but yeah, like, unless they have absolutely nothing, they will hit like a fucking truck. I remember there was a game where I had just 2 hand cards. One was a Derek, one was an Eden. I didn't have a single Persona ride. I went to Bruce, I was able to get the restand off, and I literally won the game because my opponent could do like, well, they could do something, but the thing was my drive check was just because it was double triggers is the thing, and it overwhelmed them because I had a rear guard with double crit on it, and then I had another rear guard with just, well, one of the drive checks was a crit, so eventually I had a double crit on it. And I just put pressure on the opponent, and they had to block both attacks, but then because I looked the first Eden, I just killed a rear guard, and long story short, things went to shit for them. So, yeah, all around, it's a very fun experience. Never let Bruce get another turn. Speaking of which, final turn. Go! The surpassing sword of the Apex! Bastion Prime! I didn't realize that Toya would have a line with Donji, even though I should have assumed that, meaning I kind of just skipped over his line on accident, but call Proby just for the sake of saying fuck it. Alden's gonna be big enough on his own, so, yeah, some arbitrary number, 24 Vanguard. I'm glad that this doesn't involve my full board being grade 3s, because I already fucked up a while ago with that. Then again, the crit could go to Soul. I feel like that's where they might take the next Bastion if they evolve it, where it can restand a column, but only a column of grade 3s, and it's probably going to be a certain amount of grade 3s on board, and wow, I feel bad for Donji. Okay then, well, 19. Is he going to PG this? Wow. He's going to die to the Vanguard. Crypt Vanguard, Power Aladdin, second check, no trigger, so I get a board restand more or less. Okay, well I can do it again next turn. I feel bad. I wish you got to see Prime Sword too, because I feel like it's really well designed, but not gonna lie, I wanted him to survive and then counterattack me with like everything and then push me on the edge and I barely come out on top, or he barely comes out on top with a turn. That's what I was kind of looking forward to, but I mean, it's fair, I guess, you know? That's just how it works. Anyways, let's do a freebie story. That doesn't involve a fight, thankfully. You're resigning as leader? Hold on, Toya. What do you mean? That's right, Toya. This is what you wanted to talk about? Did something happen? Nothing happened. Well, that's what I'd like to say. But I won't lie to you. I fought Setsugetsuka's leader yesterday. Yuki? I won, but she got in so much stronger. She came out and showed me exactly who she was. The way she fought was such a show of force, and it made you want to see more of the outside world. Am I right? Yeah. I always knew this day would come. I don't see a problem with it. Go out there, Toya. Donji. Please wait! That's right! You can't just drop everything like this. And you're a leader, too. He's doing this exactly because he's a leader. There are some things that only people who've led the others can understand. That's why I understand what he's trying to do, and why I'm not opposing it. I mean, yeah, Donji did do the same thing before, so I can understand why. Huh? Go on out there and find your answer, Toya! Donji, and if you do find one, be sure to tell us what it is. Until then, we will all be waiting. I understand. I do like how that's the dynamic between these two. I do like that. And I feel like when the series rears its end, you know, I'm gonna like just talk about something I want to see when Overdress eventually ends. is I want there to be another tournament. I don't like tournament arcs per se a lot of times because, in my opinion, a lot of them are predictable. I think I've been over this statement before, but like the only tournament arc I can remember genuinely fully enjoying because I didn't predict who would win, or to be more exact, yeah, because I didn't predict who would win, was Battle Spirits Heroes, where the main character, I want to say his name was Hajime Hinibori, someone correct me. I know his first name is Hajime, I don't remember what his surname was, but point is, he fought against the main antagonist, quote unquote, or like, I guess, you know, his rival of the story, Tegamaru Tanahashi. That I remember his full name, because that one was just easy to remember for me. But the thing was, the reason why I like that tournament arc so much is because, spoiler alert for if you plan on watching it, or if you haven't watched it in a while and you don't remember and you think it's interesting and you want to go watch it, is Tegamaru actually beats what's his name? Actually beats, what's his name? Hajime. Like, in the semifinals, or technically it's the finals of the tournament, but I consider it the semifinals because the thing you're fighting for the tournament for is to fight the champion. I think his name was Arata. So, in my mind, I qualified that as the final match. Whoever wins that match fights against Arata. But, technically speaking of the tournament itself, that is the final. But, anyways, he brings out his ace, but he brings it out too early, and then, you know, Hajime does everything in his power to win. He even brings out Tegamaru's old cards that he discarded for the sake of victory, and Tegamaru still wins, but he makes Tegamaru move. So in the end of the day, he won, and he did something again, which I find brilliant, because normally what I see of how anime characters win is they kind of just, especially if it's against their rival or someone important, they win just to prove a point. Like, say, for example, they have opposing views. They're like, oh, I believe this, and therefore I must win to prove myself right. And that's the situation where I love about it, where he did something where no one else has, and that made Tegamaru flinch. So, in my mind, like that's what made it a good tournament. It's in the sense that, yes, even though he lost the battle, he overall won the war. Like, and that kind of showed, like, you don't need to win the game just to be right. Like, you can still lose the game and still be in the right for it. And all around, in my mind, is what made the tournament really good, and in the end made me actually like it, the fact that the main character didn't win. And then Tegamaru proceeded to, okay, apparently he's gonna shuffle the deck anyways, and then the thing is, Tegamaru proceeded to win the entire tournament, which, again, I am not against. I am, like, glad that he won against Arata, because it's also a really good move in my mind, where, like, he basically played Burst Wall, and the thing is, it's a really good thing that can nullify attacks, and Arata had played perfectly well expecting Burst Wall to nullify an attack, so instead he put in the situation where he couldn't nullify the attack, except the thing is, he didn't realize that Tegamaru planned on playing Burst Wall normally instead of as a burst, therefore bypassing Arata's strategy. All around in my mind, that's what made it to a really good match, is the fact that they outright each other, but also just, you know, again, like Tegamaru beating the main character. And that is but that's just like, besides my point, for when they get to Overdress Season 9, I think it's been confirmed to 9 seasons, I don't care who wins per se. I do like, depending on what they do with the next few card sets, I say, like, depending on what they do then is what decides of who I think should win or not. But, in my opinion, what they should do in Season 9 is they have one final tournament, but it's like, you know, kind of like the Gal thing from the end of Buddy Fight, or the end of Buddy Fight X, aka All-Star Fight, where it's literally just like an all-star tournament, like, all the friends that have been made along the way, all the protagonists, whether or not, like, Yu stops being a protagonist after a certain point, which I don't think they're gonna drop Yu after a certain point, unless, like, it's very later in, but, you know, like, they bring back everyone of great importance, and, like, unlike this past Will Just tournament, which again I say is a letdown because a lot of characters didn't get to do anything, they actually, you know, allow every character to get a good fight in. Or if they're not gonna allow them to get a good fight in, they do what they did in the, like, the R-Star fights and at least show off a good chunk of the match. Like, for example, I remember against, like, Kyoya versus, what was his name, Wisdom, they didn't show the whole fight, but they showed off a good chunk of it. So as long as they show off a good chunk of it, I don't really care, but it has to be at least a good chunk of it. So, you know, like, Donji versus Bastion could actually, I think that would be a really good one that would definitely bring in watchers, because I think a lot of us like the fights between Donji and Bastion because it is so powerful to watch these two fight. And technically speaking, yes, Donji's record, especially at the end of Season 1, where he just absolutely stomped the fuck out of Toya, they're kind of just, you know, not dead even, but if we count the matches that were actually on camera, they are dead even, quote unquote. So there's that. I mean, well, technically not even that, because one of the matches that Toya did win was actually mostly off camera, but you get what I'm trying to say here. So all around, I can just think of like many things they can do with it, and I'd be satisfied with really either one. And you know, Yu refights Raika, you know, Michiru, or Raika has his match with Michiru and wins. I think that would be a great thing to have happen, just those two go out with it, and I'm not going to use Blaster Dark ability because it's not worth it, so don't use the ability, call you to their, actually, because the thing dies at the end of the turn, so actually no, I'll do this instead. So we'll call this, and then we'll counterblast one, and we'll kill these two, and because the thing is, I want to call in the main, which I'm now realizing isn't a good idea. I could have just saved it for next turn, but you live and you learn. Anyways, get the extra power. Sadly, oh wait, yes we do have to get the extra crit, and then, you know what, we'll hard call Blaster Dark. So in the end, technically it didn't matter. Technically it did, and technically it didn't. Battle phase, 23 double crit, definitely gonna take this. C triggers, any triggers work. I will take a draw, baby. Draw a card, power here. Second check, see a crit maybe, just for the sake of seeing a crit. Let's go. That's a 30. Might as well make it so they have to see 2 triggers to shut both these down. Most likely the AI will see 2 triggers, but this is just like forcing the AI to see 2 triggers, and there's one of them now. Don't see another one, please. Okay, well it lost a PG, so that's good. Hey, let's go. I was actually... You have 4 Virinas. Oh yeah. Oh wait. I just now remembered it. Damage checked Mahar. Oh god. Oh no. I forgot you had Mahar. Even though, like, I'm pretty sure you even discarded one for Ride Deck 2, and I think I brought it up. But, yeah. Or maybe he didn't discard. Yeah, he healed it out. Fuck. I forgot about this. Depending on what happens, it actually might be a better idea to stay on PBD, not gonna lie. Okay, at least I see a trick. I wish I would have drive checked that, but you know, lessons learned. Please don't throw down Esprit, or if you do, it's at least gonna make it easy to kill. So is that. Fuck. 8? Okay, it's only 7. Okay, hell nah, motherfucker. Listen here, bitch. I ain't letting that shit touch me as long as my life depends on it. Intercept. Okay, I don't trust the Vanguard. So... as long as you don't pull the over, I'm safe. So, throw that down. And I think I can afford to take out you. So... that's a 3 to pass. Okay, so it has to be the over now to break through. Okay, it's... oh, he runs on melee. I'm actually surprised by that. Let's go. Okay, fuck you, but I live. Okay, good. I'm taking that. Actually, is it a good idea to take that? Can I guard that? Yes or no? I can. It's not worth it, though. If it was only double crit to block it, I 100% would throw down the double crit, but, it's involving more than that, so... because I'll have to kill one rear guard, I'm gonna go PBD, so, or PBO, especially because double crit pressure, so ride PBO. And I'm gonna need rear guards to kill for you. So, and you call them as rest, yeah. I mean, I can still do this though, so... call in the main. Whether this is dumb or not, I don't know. We'll put you into Soul, and let's see where our draw gets us. Well, that sets us up for game later. Call, and call for the sake of having a booster. Don't use your skill, please. And we'll enter the battle phase, but I'll stop the camera first to make sure I can get every bit of footage. Okay, let's continue the war against Yu. We'll start off with Blaster Dark for 15. He can't intercept this, which is great. I am now realizing I shouldn't have called Brandon there, and instead I should have called Mugen, but you live and you learn. The Vanguard swings for 21 with double critical. He's down, what, 3 Mahars or 4 of them? So, kill and kill. Actually, I mean, in the end, it doesn't really matter. It's the same amount either way, so... because I'm just going to call Blaster Dark over is the thing, so it really doesn't matter. But call Blaster Dark, and then his power goes up, and then skill of Blaster Dark. Sadly, I'm killing Mugen here, but on the bright side, I'm at least taking that fucker down with... yeah, see, this is why I should have called Bramwin to the behind center, because this way I could have actually, like... actually, no matter what, I would have lost the booster. So in the end, it actually was a smart thing to do it this way. Or... no, it wasn't, because Blaster... you get the point. Either way, cool, I'm forcing out guard. This is a 15k drop, at least I'm getting rid of a 15k out of this. Does he have Nirvanas left though? I am curious, because there's one in damage right now, there's one in drop I know of, and then there's one on Van, so for all I know, he could have one more left. I don't think he does, but in case he does, watch, he drop checked the last one, I just wasn't paying attention. But, okay, as long as another Esper Radiant doesn't come down, I think I'm fine. But we'll see. Okay, let me rephrase that. As long as Esper Radiant doesn't come down in the sense of it's gonna fucking blow up my Vanguard, I'm safe, which thankfully it didn't. Draw trigger, power to Vanguard, I draw a card. I'm not taking any chances on this fucker. I'm PGing this just in case. But, next turn is kind of game. Oh yeah, I forgot you can work without being in the overdressed state. PG this, again, just in case. We'll ditch from my hand this critical trigger because I don't need soul, especially in this situation. I just now realized I apparently have 2 SPs. Okay, yeah, he's dead next turn. One of his hand cards is a grade 3, or technically a grade 4. I know the other ones aren't grade 3s because otherwise he would have used Mahar to bring this fucker to God knows what. And all around, okay. Yeah, I'm safe. At least a third of his hand is triggers, a third. Less than a third of his hand is triggers, but like barely less than a third. Yeah, Blaster Dark, because I'm just gonna, you know, do the call loop anyways. So, guard, and, final turn. Let's do this, baby. Crack my fingers for this one. Stand and draw. I just now realized, well, I realized this a while ago, but Yaiba means sword. Don't call me stupid for that. Anyways, Persona Ride. Because I now have Retire Fodder. Yes, no, nothing personal, dude, but, I mean, if he lives this and he rushes me, then this is a dumb idea, but, as they say, sometimes you must be stupid to be smart. 27, go ahead, guard the trigger. I know you have a crit in hand. Yep, there he goes. And then, you know, Vanguard swings, I killed these 2, I killed the half. Now a third of his hand is useless, which is good. I don't know how many PGs he has. Most likely, it's probably 1 he has, so, at best. And I'm not realizing I'm out of Blaster Dark, so I kind of gotta win this now, otherwise I lose. Why did you get more? Oh, because of the Persona Ride, that's why. I forgot about it. I was like, what the fuck? How do you get another 10k? Does it change each turn? Does it get plus 10k for each grade 3? Then I remember, oh yeah, it's the Persona Ride that's giving me that. Anyways, 33 double crit face. I was fucking right. I knew his ass had a PG. Well, it doesn't really matter to me, because, okay, cool. That's 3 Esper Radios down. I don't really care. Crit. Okay, he's not killing me next turn. I have 3 PGs in hand. I have 2 triggers. It's gonna be pure hell for him trying to commit. Also pretty sure I've only seen 1 heal this entire game. So I'm pretty sure I still have a good amount of, you know, recovery options left, worst case scenario. And he is really throwing down everything to stop me. Okay, I know that one of those cards, Expecta, if that last card has to be a PG to stop this. Which it isn't, so I most likely won. Unless that was an over or a heal, and it wasn't, and I just remembered I called final turn, so I'm really glad that it wasn't. Easy win. Thank you, good sir, for not making my life suffer. You're so strong! Yes, yes I am. I know. Boku no Kachira. That more or less translates to I win or it's my victory. Again, I say more or less. I'm not saying that's exactly what it translates to. We'll do another free fight, especially because I feel bad about skipping Mirai's match when I was fighting against Donji. Anyways, fight me! I want to know more about you! Cool. Let's see, I just used that deck. God damn it, it's always the Dragon Empire people, so I guess it's MLB. This is just the episode of me spamming Keter decks, ain't it? Because I wanted to play Overlord, but I guess I'm gonna save that for Gravidia then, so hopefully I win this on the first try. I mean, regardless, unless this game is exactly 3 minutes long, I'm not gonna play this out again, so hopefully I win this on the first try. But go, Wing All Brave. Anyway, stand and draw. Actually, I just not realized, does Toya say Ori no Tone? Because I know some male characters, based on like what their personality is, they either do Boku no turn. Weirdly enough, the most Boku no turns I've heard come from female characters pretending to be male characters, like Blair Flanagan from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've never even heard her say Boku no turn, except for maybe in Season 4 of GX. I honestly don't remember, because I never watched the full sub of GX. I only watched Season 4 of GX on the sub, because I just don't like the dark aspect of GX, so I'd rather just watch the dub, even if it is annoying and the songs are very repetitive in a bad way. If it's between like more joke nature and I guess, dark nature. I'd rather take the joke nature. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like dark stories, but I don't... If it's between something that I grew up knowing as a joke, like GX, I'd rather keep it in that joke nature, because, like, it's like the thing of this, like, you know, as a child, you block out certain thoughts in your mind. I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. I just messed up. Well. And I just soul blasted one for nothing. This is why you should pay attention more often to your gameplay, people. I'm a fucking idiot. I swear that was an accident. I 100% swear. I forgot for a second how my cards work. I also just now realized that card gets a free 5k. I really should have put I misplayed so badly. But anyways, you know, it's like the type of thing where as a child, you block out certain things. And yeah, obviously watching a dub, there's not really much I blocked out. So, you know, I feel like I should, but watch the sub of it. But in my mind, again, it's like, I'd rather just keep the lighthearted stuff lighthearted, like, because I enjoyed the rain season being darker in the dub, or in the sub, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but to be more exact, I enjoyed it not because of the story, but because of the music. I 100% guarantee you, if you put the... Because I know this is true, because one of the scenes I watched with, from the dub that had sub music on it, I watched so much. It's one of my most viewed... One of the YouTube videos I viewed the most, in general, of that year, when I first saw it, until they took it down eventually for copyright reasons. But I tell you what, like, if you put Japanese, if the music is different, if you put Japanese music over a dub scene, I will 100% watch the dub more. I mean, I would watch the dub most of the time anyways, but like, unless the music is that solid, then in that case, yeah, I would pick whichever one has the better music in my opinion. But yeah, that also might be the reason why I just don't like the sub of GX that much, because I just don't really like I didn't really like the music of GX at all until, like, you know, I heard Judai/Jaden's theme enough to where I was like, you know what, fuck it, it's not that bad. So I guess that honestly might be the case. I know there's people probably yelling at me of how I should have done this, but I don't fucking care. I know the AI is going to intercept this, but I want the drive check, okay? So no one cares. Or the AI is stupid and doesn't want to intercept this. This was a part of the plan the whole time, I swear. Anyways, MLB, go kill this fucker. Skill of Free Day first. Had 5,000 power. Skill of MLB. Game 1 drive check. Game 1 crit. Gain 2,000 power and a rear guard kill and a drive check. I think I may have already said that part, but it doesn't really matter. And yeah. I'm really glad it didn't auto-cancel that. Because I clicked Y when it apparently clicked off, so thankfully it didn't. But, I mean, not like it mattered in the long run, but I do want the triple drive. So first check, okay, cool, unless she kills me next turn, I can do it again. Second check, front trigger, which is great. Can I see either a heal or a crit, please? That would be great. Well, that's one of the things I said, so thank you very much. I'm really, like, curious now to see how much that me not getting that drive check fucked me, because, again, I swear it was an accident, it wasn't on purpose, because we all know I normally do it the right way. I was just distracted because I was telling a story. I now realize Mirai has the spear, which means she's at full power. You know, I should just start assuming the AI is at full power, because I see, like, 2 AIs that had access to their respective grade 4s. I should assume the AI is at its strongest potential, but whatever. And it discards Chick Moon for a ride deck, I guess, because, you know, orders, and... Okay, do you have our Darla in hand? Because otherwise, I question the logic of this. I mean, if she has the spear, that is. I don't know if she has the spear. Oh my gosh, she doesn't have the spear. Listen, lady. I would love to let this hit, but, actually... Yeah, no, fuck you. I want you to see it. You have to see the over to break through this. Don't see the over, please. Also, please stop healing. That's getting annoying. I'd rather that you don't do this. Also, just don't see the over. Okay, okay, well, that's not preferred either, but... Okay, I know most likely she doesn't have okay. Most likely she doesn't have another order in hand, or at the most she has the spear, or the sword I mean, so I'm safe, more or less. Not amazingly safe, but safe a good amount. Anyways, draw a card plus 10, okay. Call, Blaster, Dark, Call, Blaster, Blake. We're just gonna swap up the order that my boy's attacking, and we're gonna go battle phase. I'm gonna at least force out the shield. I know the AI is gonna shield this, and if it doesn't, then the AI is stupid, but yeah, there we go. It at least forces it out. Sometimes the AI is smart like it is here, and then sometimes the AI is downright stupid. I feel like the day is gonna come by where the AI should use the shield, and it just won't, for whatever fucking reason that may be. But, skill of MLB, as we did before, kill a rear guard, gain a drive check. I already have the pluses, so it doesn't really matter. Is it possible not to use the skill? Oh, it is possible not to use the skill, so I just got lucky last time. Anyways. Well, didn't really matter if I nullified the shield. Second check. Cool, she is at 4 damage now. She will probably block this if she has that PG. Actually, she does still have that PG, so she'll probably use it on this, honestly. Or a sane person would. Okay, now she has to use it on that, so crit power. It's not game, but like, no matter what, she's dropping that PG here. She's gonna see a draw trigger. But like, genuinely, Mirai, see any damage triggers you want here, no matter what, they are like 100% benefit to me, even if it's the over, because, you know, it gets rid of one fucking big-ass threat I have to deal with later. Either way, you're probably going to 5. Okay, scratch that, you're going to 4, which means she might not even block this, but preferably she does. Okay, that's 3 trick moons down, and she lost at least 3 heals. Please PG this, I beg of you. Thank God. Because I want to make sure that next turn is game, so thankfully she did PG that. No, she drops a draw check, so she does run draws. Drive check, and there's my persona. Right, okay, she's dead next turn. I'm pushing next turn. She's 100% not walking away from next turn alive. But cool, that benefited me a lot. Let's see where she goes with it. And that's why I guarded early, because I knew this was coming. Question is, does she have a sword or not, or a spear? I was fucking right, she did have the sword. From looks like she top decked that though, so I don't really know for sure, but that's a persona right out. From this range, she could kill me. So do I PG this? Yeah, I'll PG this, because if she pulls double crits, I am dead. Out of curiosity, does she have crits and drop? Or how many does she have in drop? That was 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically speaking, I shouldn't play this game, but you know what? Fuck it. Okay, I wanted to be clear. She has sacked all 4 heals and all 4 have gone off, but okay, so she's not dying next turn, but I'm safe. Question is, will the AI use the sword or not? If it has an order hit, it most likely will. I think it will do it anyways because the fucking AI, but that's a PG down. And that's a heal trigger that I get to use for once, so thank God. Power to Vanguard. I was about to start yelling about how I don't get to activate my heals and she does, but sword? Oh! Okay, so she doesn't have an order in hand. Great, that actually tells me exactly what I need to know. Anyways, Persona Ride. Get plus 10k to front row, Ichiban draw. Oh! Well, there's my way to search my last Blaster Blade. So, downside is, I'm out of Blaster Darks. I still have Blaster Blades left, thankfully. 1 left, though, but I don't get extra drives anymore, so... Call you. I'm not using your skill, good sir. Call you. And out of everything in my hand, I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm gonna sacrifice this. And call me stupid, but I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna go battle phase. 20 to Vanguard. They really need to give us a grade 2 card that can give boost. Or a card that can give grade 2's boost for this deck. I know Brantgate has one in the form of the grade 2 order that's named eludes me at the moment, but you know, as each their own. Do I have more crits left? I think I do. I also realize I have 10 soul. She's definitely walked away from this turn alive, sadly. But I'm pretty sure that's the last heal she has in her deck. She just sent to drop zone, meaning she has to have the over to basically get out of all the risky situations, and I'm going back down to 2. So, you know, at this point, the only way she's going to win is by decking me out. And at this point, that honestly is a plausibility. Sadly, there's no... Wait, do you bounce blasters from drop zone to hand? You don't, sadly. If she did, I would be fine, but she doesn't, so... I mean, that does keep me from decking myself out, though, so I guess there's that. And I'm also out of Persona Rides, so... All around, my two main ways to get hand cards are out, so I have to kind of just rely on the heart of the cards now, and... She's also out of Persona Rides, great. So we're both in the same situation, basically. Okay, gives you extra crit. I don't really mind that much. Do you do anything? Like, rush me? Okay, well, again I say I'm tempted to take this. She does, again, have to pull double crits, and in the current situation, she most likely won't. But I don't want to take chances on this, so PG. I don't have good column attackers. So I might have to commit hand cards next turn. Oh god, she has the spear. So she's probably going to use the sword this turn. Okay, she has two of them. Okay, so her hand is shit. Because two of her hand cards can't block, which is great. And then, for some reason, she doesn't use this sword. So the AI is stupid, I guess. And that is either my last heal or my second to last heal. Fuck. I also realized I'm at 15k base, so I could have actually guarded that like I wanted to. But, end turn without riding. Call you. What is your skill exactly? Soul Boss 1. Call to rear guard. Okay, you know, I'm gonna fucking use it just cause I can and I will. See Blaster Blade, so I can use its skill as interceptor. Let's fucking go, baby. Call. And I'll drop the draw trigger. We're going to focus a little bit more on offense here. And we are going to use this go because I don't want to lose my Blaster Blade. Counter Boss 1, kill our Darla. And like I said, we're going to focus a little bit on the offense. I call two of these boys. And we're just going to go right into the battlefield and see what happens. Attack the Vanguard for 24, double critical, mandatory activation of MLB. However, I will not use its skill and send nothing to soul. And, okay, well there's its last heal out of hand, which is great. First check, no trigger. Second check, front trigger. Let's fucking go. How did I know? The AI might live this. No, two of its hand cards are spears. So, actually, wait, no, it could live this as one of those is a 10k. Or she's a trigger here, which she does. Really, game? You got it? What are the chances that she wasn't able to survive that? Granted, that last hand card would have to not be a trigger, but still, that's kind of annoying that she lives off the virtues of that being a trigger. But it at least gets rid of a crit. Into my knowledge, that's her 6th one out, so, you know, all around, it takes care of a lot of possible threats. And she can't Persona Ride, and she doesn't even play the order. Do I take the chance and just let her hit me? The answer is no. Guard and guard for a no pass. Let's just see how this goes. Double crits, I said. If she sees a crit, I'm gonna cry. Do not tell me I just sat through this entire game and she's gonna win off the virtues of seeing the over. See me draw into a PG. She's gonna play the sword, isn't she? She really just won off the virtues of the over. How many heals are left? The answer is none. I can already tell. Yep. She literally just won by pulling the over. Well, you win some, you lose some, I guess. Crit. Oh, it's a draw. Well, I almost had her. The over really did come to fuck me there, but that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. GG's, Mirai. Fuck you, but GG's. I'm ending this one here. I hope you guys enjoy. In the next one, I get revenge. So I'll see you all then. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us, follow Twitch, and don't forget to stand up your Vanguards.